Hello and thank you for contacting Wave Support. I see from your request that this first design that you have for this patient is fitting reasonably well, and from your information that you provided, it sounds like the patient is tolerating the lens pretty well. So the first thought is there's no perfect RGP or wave lens design for every patient. And so if the lens is fitting fairly well and you're not having any physiological problems, you may not need to change anything at all as far as the fit goes. But just a couple general considerations. It's usually best if you are struggling with the fit to try to align this landing zone between the blue and the pink dot. You want that as parallel to the green line as you can get. And you'll notice in your design you have a bit of a down turner here at the 3 o'clock radial. It's still down at the 12 o'clock. Over here at 9 o'clock, though, it turns upward, and same thing inferiorly. So if you can sort of even that out a little bit more around the clock dial, generally you get a lens that has less rocking and is a little bit more stable. So a couple of ways to do it. Probably the easiest thing to do if you can't get the GSIM design to work very well, just click over to Freeform, and that will allow this lens to redesign and settle down all the different readings. So I set it at current settings. And now if you look at your design, you have now laid down that landing zone between the blue and the pink dot very evenly all the way around the clock dial. And this will generally get that lens to settle down and center and not rock around as much. Again, if your original design is working well and the patient isn't having difficulty, you may not want to change anything at all. As far as the concern about the thickness, I don't think necessarily that 15 in the center and 16 in the periphery is necessarily too thin. However, there's a question about a little bit of residual astigmatism, which could be flexure. In this case, if you just bump that up maybe 0.3 or 0.5, that'll help reduce the chance of this lens flexing on the eye. Another consideration, when you open up the software, Wave often gives you the option of either averaging the astigmatism or not averaging the astigmatism. Generally, if you have a nice looking topography with good data, I recommend that you do not average the astigmatism. Sometimes averaging the astigmatism will hide some of the corneal astigmatism that Wave relies on when it calculates the lens power. And in this manner, sometimes the contact lens will miss out a little bit of the true refractive and corneal cylinder that's in this case. So in these particular cases, I try not to average out the corneal cylinder, and that tends to give a little bit more accurate representation of the lens design. Well, I hope you find this helpful. I wish you well with your Wave cases, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. Have a great day.